Hey, what's up? It's Mike, Sweeps Coin Curator. What's going on? It's February 22nd, 2025. Today, I wanted to go over a complex topic. It's basically the future of these sweeps casinos that we all love so much. As far as a regulatory perspective, 2025 is going to be an interesting year, I think, for this topic. Before we get into that, check me out over at beacons.ai/freesweepscoins. You can see the sortable list. There's over 100 sweepstakes casinos here. You can find them in the Google Sheet. Find them listed here A to Z. Make sure you're signed up, collecting those daily bonuses, etc. Also, you can follow me on x.com/sccurator. You can click the icon there, and you won't miss whenever I add a new sweeps casino to the list. Okay, so let's get into this. We'll start off by reading some of these headlines from Sweeps Kings. New York Senator Adebu pushes sweepstakes casino ban. That was 11 days ago, February 11th. Mississippi lawmaker targets online sweepstakes casinos with a new bill. That was a little bit earlier in the year. New Maryland bill seeks to ban online sweepstakes casinos. Hawaii introduces a bill for a state-owned sweepstakes casino. Jackpot exits West Virginia. Others likely to follow. West Virginia Attorney General subpoenas sweepstakes casinos. VGW wins a venue battle. One of their lawsuits moved to Delaware. And High Five Casino pulls out of multiple U.S. states and Canada. So, as you can see, there's a lot going on the legal front, and a lot of it's going to depend on your state. Some states are better than others. Some states are already banned. We've already got Idaho and Washington totally banned, and then Michigan had the cease and desist. So I think technically Michigan could offer the sweepstakes casinos, but none of them do, just because of the legal action there by the state attorney general. So you've got three main states, Idaho, Washington, Michigan, where you can't even really play at all on any of these sweepstakes casinos. So if you're in any one of those states, you're kind of screwed as of now, unfortunately. Currently, there's 7 states that allow legal iGaming or internet gaming. So that's New Jersey, Delaware, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. And that means you can go into your DraftKings account, you can fire up a slot machine or a blackjack table, and it's all legal, regulated, etc. So only 7 out of the 50 states have that, which kind of just shows how new the iGaming industry still is. We're still waiting on a lot of states that have legalized sports betting to also legalize iGaming, and I would expect that to happen over the next few years. But yeah, some of these states are going to be a lot better than others, and it's still a very new industry. As we saw, mentioned it the other day, High Five Casino pulls out of more states. What's going on? And then there's this Reddit post here, and it kind of goes over what happened there with High Five, why they're pulling out of so many states. They did just lose a major court case in Washington over a Facebook game from many years ago that cost them $25 million. So could be they're more cautious. They don't want to have more legal losses there. But the part that was interesting to me is Pennsylvania the next hotspot for sweeps casino trouble. The bigger picture here is that sweepstakes casinos are under fire in 2025, with more states either considering bans or tightening regulations, as we just saw with those headlines. Maryland lawmakers are actively working on legislation to outlaw sweeps casinos, and if that bill passes, High Five will probably be forced to leave there too. Even more telling, the B2 brands like McLuck and Mega Bonanza have already started pulling out of Pennsylvania. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, because I am still able to log into McLuck and Mega Bonanza and collect the daily bonus, so hopefully that's not true, but it could be. Looks like PA is becoming the next major battleground for sweepstakes casinos, and if regulators turn up the heat, more brands might follow. So yeah, I do agree with this last part. Legal pressure is mounting. The sweepstakes casino landscape is shifting fast. Now, that's not to say that it's all doom and gloom, but I would kind of urge that if you're considering getting in on this side hustle, that the sooner the better, just because of how things deteriorate over time in general. This is a pattern we've seen with online poker, with fantasy sports, with sports betting, cryptocurrency, etc. If you're in on the ground floor, you can make really easy money, really good money. It's like shooting fish in a barrel almost. But then over time, more and more people get into the action. It gets more saturated. More sharps and sharks get in. More, bots and automation kind of take over. And it gets harder and harder to make money over time. A lot of the bonuses sort of dry up. You see that with sports betting where when sports betting first became legal, maybe, 5 or 7 years ago, something like that, the sign-up bonuses were ridiculous. You were getting like thousands of dollars to sign up. And now it's maybe hundreds of dollars. So over time, things tend to get worse and worse with these types of side hustles. So you'd want to get in now while you still can, while it's still profitable. Over time, it's probably going to get worse, and that's just kind of the nature of what it is. You can even see it on like a micro level with something like a Wow Vegas happy hour where, word spreads that, hey, you can basically buy $100 for $75 every day, and people will start flooding in. It gets saturated, and then the site makes it slightly worse. They make it, instead of getting $100 for $75, you get $90, and then they've also added credit card fees now, where there's a small fee for the credit card, because I guess people were churning their credit card rewards and adding that reward on as well. So, the site kind of picks up on that over time, and they adjust. So the sooner the better as far as any side hustle, I would think. But especially with one like this where the legal landscape is shifting so quickly. But VGW, the biggest company in the game, they are still making tons of money. There's this article here. Part of this article is VGW posted $323.5 million in profit last fiscal year. So they generated $4 billion in revenue compared to 3.1 the previous year, so a pretty nice increase there. Total profit after taxes came in at $323.5 million. So they're basically netting almost $1 million a day in profit over at VGW, and that's Chumba, Lucky Land Global. So the sites are making tons of money. It's not like their business model's broken or people writing envelopes is killing their business or anything like that, or them giving away the daily login. If anything, it's just generating more play. It's generating more action for them, and their profits and their revenue are going up and up over time. So, it's kind of a mixed bag. Like the revenue's going up, the business is strong, but the regulation could hinder it. Whoops. Okay. Let's get this article going here. This is just from yesterday in Mississippi. Lawmakers look to ban certain online gaming platforms. Mississippi Senate voted unanimously last week to ban certain online gaming platforms, also known as sweepstakes casinos, following other states in banning the controversial gaming model. SB 2510 aims to halt sweepstakes casinos worldwide. The measure does not define what they are specifically, but lumps them in with online, interactive, or computerized versions of any game of chance. And it seems pretty common here. They're going to have this $100,000 per violation penalty. So, yeah, Mississippi is actively working against this. And there's this group, the NCLGS, the National Council of Legislators from Gaming States. They put this out last year around Thanksgiving. They had public debate until the end of last year, and they actually put out the framework for this recently, Model Internet Gaming Act. A lot of it has to deal with just trying to standardize the regulations across the states that already have legalized iGaming, as far as like tax rates, age requirements, credit cards being banned, etc. And it also provides a framework for any new states that are going to come online in the future. But if you look for sweepstakes, if you go to Chapter 20 of this document, sweepstakes games prohibited. So they're outright just telling you to your face that they're trying to prohibit these games. They define them as any game, contest, or promotion in which a prize is awarded based on chance. It's available on the internet, accessed on a mobile phone, etc., etc. Section B, prohibition. It shall be unlawful for any person or entity to operate, conduct, or promote sweepstakes games within the state. And again, here's that $100,000 number, and you could lose your gaming license. So, yeah, that's the section or the chapter on sweepstakes games. They basically say, screw the sweepstakes platforms and players. We're just going to ban them altogether. That's their like recommendation. That's their model legislation. So, any state that follows this legislative framework will be including that in there unless there's some kind of backtracking or lobbying from the other side. So, yeah, things can change quickly. I mean, sites can operate in 45 states today, and then tomorrow they could be down to 20 states or 10 states. It really just can change very quickly. So, you want to kind of keep your eye on that. My kind of top-down view on this is that there's going to be some consolidation, and most likely you're going to see Chumba and the other big-time brands partner up or get merged with like a DraftKings or a FanDuel. So you might see like DraftKings will operate or Chumba will operate under the DraftKings ownership, maybe as their own brand, maybe as a DraftKings brand, but I could definitely see that happening. You know, the top two or three players kind of get taken out by DraftKings, FanDuel, etc., which makes sense. You know, DraftKings captures a new player base, expands their business, expands their portfolio. And Chumba obviously benefits by being purchased or being part of a DraftKings network. And then you might see like 100 sweepstakes casinos today dwindle down to just, you know, a handful of regulated sites. Kind of how it is with sports betting. You know, you do still have offshore sports books that operate, but for the most part, if you're in a legalized state, it's going to be the top 3 or 4 sites that you all know, like DraftKings, FanDuel, etc. So I kind of think that's where we're headed. Or Chumba could just apply for a gaming license, or VGW. They could just apply for a gaming license and just go it on their own. But I kind of think consolidation's more likely. It's pretty common in the space. You see it all the time where companies are buying each other out, merging with each other all the time, and it makes a lot of sense here. This article from Card Player, more states consider banning sweepstakes casinos. Efforts could upend the social gaming industry. Again, published 2 days ago. So this is very timely right now, and it's very a fluid situation. It goes over how Mississippi, we already went over that one. But more states are looking to get in on the action, so to speak. Talks about Michigan, the Michigan Gaming Control Board. New York, as we went over with these headlines earlier. So New Jersey. Now, New Jersey has a different approach. They're actually proposing to regulate the gaming sites as the state does with regulated online casino sites. So New Jersey's pretty open as far as gambling. I think they were the first state outside of Nevada to allow gambling, and they have a lot of different sports books that are open. They kind of have an attitude of you can pretty much bet on anything sports-wise. So I think that they are taking a different route, and they're going to try to make the sites like VGW partner up with like a DraftKings or with a land-based casino and just go the regulation route. So it'll be interesting to see what states, you know, which path different states take. Some may ban it altogether. Some may make them apply for a license. Some may, you know, punt the issue until later on. But you can see here there's a lot of different states mentioned. I mean, we've got Michigan, we've got Mississippi, we've got Maryland, we've got New Jersey, we've got Connecticut trying to ban them. And they're actually in Connecticut trying to make it a Class D felony to play on the platforms, which is interesting. I don't know how that would hold up. I just don't think that's going to come into play, but we'll see. And it mentions here that some operators have already moved out of Nevada. So you've got all these different states adopting all these different frameworks. And it's just going to be an interesting year to kind of see where this all heads. But one thing I think is for sure that in a year or two, maybe by like middle of next year, we're going to have a lot more clarity as far as these sweepstakes casinos go. Like the current situation doesn't seem too stable or tenable from where I sit. It just seems like we're not just going to grind along and stay the same for years and years. Like we might have a few months or the rest of this year left, in my opinion, but I would think that we're going to have a lot more clarity on the regulation standpoint. I would think sometime later this year would be my guess. And I will be here to go over any of the developments for you. I plan on doing this as long as it's profitable to play on the sweepstakes casinos and log in and do all the different tactics that I lay out in the videos. But there's definitely a risk that they just take the hardline approach, ban the sites in the state of PA, and then that's kind of it for me. Like, that would be it. I'm in PA, and that would be game over. If I can't log into any of the sites, or if the sites pull out of my state, then obviously the side hustle is over. So that's why you got to live for today and just earn what you can while you can. That would be, again, my advice. And but I'll be here to go over the legal landscape. If there's any changes or any big announcements, I'll be sure to make some content and keep you informed. But yeah, thanks for watching this video, and I hope you have a good night. We'll see you.